Guys, I know it's been a while since we've done any videos, but I had a question from one of my basketball teammates, and he had sprained his ankle pretty bad in the game. And so, Bobby, this is really for you. But he wanted to know, obviously when you sprain the ankle initially, it's going to be really swollen, especially if it's a bad sprain. It's going to be really swollen. You won't really have too much mobility in it. It's going to be tough to walk. You'll walk with a limp and things like that. So, what do you do when you can start moving it a little bit better, when you can walk a little bit easier? How do you get that mobility back? How do you get the strength back in the ankle? And the first key is to break up all the crap, all the adhesions and all the kind of junk that's been built up in that ankle for, I think the time he did it was 3 weeks ago, something like that. So there's a lot of crap that's been built up in that ankle, in the joints and the muscles that were stretched out or shortened a little bit too much. And so that's going to be the first goal, is to break all that stuff up. So I know we've done some videos with the ball, and really focus on plantar fasciitis and things of that nature. But what you can do with the ball is kind of the same stuff to release all that musculature in and around the ankle joint. So you put that ball on the ground, okay, and you just kind of roll it. You find spots that are tight. You will have tight spots, more in the one that's been messed up. That's number two. More in the one that's been messed up, more so than the one that was, normal. So roll that ball around. When you find a tight spot, you don't want to roll over it. You kind of want to just sit on that spot, okay? And toes up will stretch out some more of that musculature, especially the plantar fascia, and you can get a little bit deeper into the muscle. Don't turn it. So the other thing you can do is get into some of the fibrillaris muscles along the outside of the leg. So the way you can do that, and I know we did a video on this one too. You take that ball, you put it down on the ground, and you just kind of sit on it. That ball is going to go into that musculature along the fibula, the outside shin bone. Okay? So you're right here, and you just kind of take your hand, add pressure as you need it. The other thing you can do to make it a little bit harder is cross one leg over and sit down on that ball. So assuming you've started off and doing all that stuff, and the ankle feels pretty good, it's time to start moving it. The first thing that we do with our ankle rehab stuff, is ask the client or the patient, or whatever, to go into any amount of range of motion that they can. The best way to do that we've learned is to kind of write out the numbers 0 through 10 with their ankle joint. So you would hold your leg out here, and you make a 0. Okay? Then you go to 1. Then you go to 2. Okay? And you can see as I'm going through, that's 3. My ankle is having to go through all different ranges of motion, all different movements to continue off. That was 5, and 6, 7. You want to do it slow and controlled. If you jerk, you're not really going to get the most out of it. Okay? So slow and controlled is always going to be the best way. Then once you've kind of gotten past the 0 through 10, you would spell out the ABCs. Okay? And the best way to do that is going to be capital letters. Okay? Just like that. A, B. Now once you get through Z, if you still feel like you need a little bit more, you can spell out the ABCs in the opposite direction. So your A, if it normally goes like this, you would go the opposite. So up and then cross over from left to right. The B, if it's usually like that, the B would be a straight line down and make the circles out to the left. So you're covering every movement that your ankle can possibly do. Again, breaking up some of that crap in there, allowing the scar tissue to kind of be eliminated, and you can get that range of motion back. Hopefully get back on the court, Bobby, as soon as possible. Play whatever sport you're playing as soon as possible. That's the ultimate goal with this stuff. There's no limit, I would say, to doing this stuff. You can do as much as you want, as much as you feel like it's necessary. The goal is, if it starts feeling better immediately, you're on the right path. If it starts swelling up and all that crap, I say go back to doing just the resting stuff, because you're not ready to do the mobility stuff yet. But check it out, try it. If you guys ever have an ankle sprain, know somebody that has had an ankle sprain, tell them to do this stuff. It should end up working out pretty well. So if you guys have any questions, obviously let us know, and we'll see you next time.